Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in again today. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will appreciate that as much as well. We have another one here from Entertainment Weekly. Lizzo feels cancel culture has become trendy, misused, and misdirected. Cancel culture is appropriation, the three-time Grammy winner behind To Be Loved tweeted. Grammy winner Lizzo shared some thoughts on cancel culture on Saturday, saying she feels the whole idea has become trendy, misused, and misdirected. This may be a random time to say this, but it's on my heart. Cancel culture is appropriation, the To Be Loved and About Damn Time singer wrote in a tweet. There's real outrage from truly marginalized people, and now it's becoming trendy, misused, and misdirected. She added, I hope we can phase out of this and focus our outrage on the real problems. Last summer, Lizzo was called out for her lyrics in their song Girls that some online claimed was an ableist slur. She had explained in an interview that she wasn't aware of this connotation and used it in the way that it's used in the black community to mean go off, turn up. But she still changed the wording on the track. Nina Simone changed lyrics. Is she not an artist? Lizzo said in a chat with Vanity Fair. Language changes generationally. Nina Simone said, you cannot be an artist and not reflect on the time. So am I not an artist and reflecting the time and listening to people and making conscious change in the way we treat language and help people in the way we treat people in the future? Other celebrities have been grappling with the idea of cancel culture. British talk show personality Graham Norton offered a thoughtful response about the concept that went viral when asked about it in relation to Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling, who continuously comes under fire for spreading the anti-trans rhetoric. Rowling has stated that she supports the trans community, although she repeatedly shares ideology linked to the controversial TERF movement. You read a lot of articles in papers by people complaining about cancel culture, and you think, what in the world are you, in what world are you canceled? I'm reading your article in the newspaper and you're doing interviews about how terrible it is to be canceled, Norton said of cancel culture. In conversations at the Cheltenham Literature Festival, sorry if I mispronounced that, in October, I think the word is wrong. The word is the wrong word. I think the word should be accountability. And here's my thought here before we continue on with this article. What Graham Norton says is kind of incorrect here if you think about it, because, they're doing an interview about being canceled. They're talking about being canceled in an interview, and you're reading the story about them being canceled. Yes. That doesn't mean they're still getting work. Yes, they may be getting paid to do the interview, possibly. But they're talking about getting work. They're talking about, working in movies, TV, stuff like that. They're talking about their livelihood getting upended because of being quote unquote canceled. That is what they're referring to. They're not referring to, I'm doing an interview, therefore I'm not canceled. No, they can't get work in their chosen field because they've been canceled. That's what they're talking about. So his reply to that is kind of off-center there, if you ask me about that. Los Angeles Magazine recently published an article titled Cancel Culture has been reduced to a timeout for adults. That unpacks the concept in light of Will Smith's Oscar slap, Kanye West on pro-World War II bad guys, and pro-World War II bad guys comments. Kate Hudson also commented on cancel culture in an interview, The Independent. People should just have a deeper awareness, right? And people who don't are being called out. The Glass Onion star said, we should hold people accountable who do anything that's sexist, misogynistic, or racist. We should call out the lack of diversity companies or lack of women on boards. Kanye should be held accountable for his behavior, period. There are clear things that warrant, you're canceled by. Well, if you think about it, yeah, there are clear things that warrant, like, a type of cancellation. Here's what I think a quote-unquote cancellation should be. Somebody does or says something stupid, and you let their fans decide. You don't just, go online and say, we need to cancel this guy and run a smear campaign. This guy needs to be canceled, blah, blah, blah. What I think should happen for somebody like, say, Kanye West. He goes out and says all this horrible stuff. And you honestly should let his fans decide. Yes, he lost his contracts with Nike, which should have happened, yes. Like, Nike, if he says something like that and they don't want to associate with him anymore, yes. That's a company making a decision to get out of business with somebody who's saying awful things. That should be something that happens. That's a normal thing. If somebody in the public eye says something rude, and they have deals with companies like, let's say Nike, for example, and they just say the awfulest, most moronic, stupid things they could say, and Nike says, well, we don't want to be in business with this person, and yank their contract, That should be their thing that they could do. But after that point, you let their fans decide if they're canceled. If he says something just so heinously stupid like he's been doing, then let his fans say, I'm not going to buy his stuff anymore. And they do it on their own organically, not because they are told to. And that's the way it should be. Now with Will Smith slapping Chris Rock at the Oscars, same thing. If his fans see him doing that and acting the way he did at the Oscars, then they should have the choice whether to support him or not. It should not just be a massive, crowd of people saying, you have to cancel him, you have to follow us, you have to do what we want, you have to do what we want on this subject, It should be an individual's decision whether or not to support somebody. Now, I know Kanye said some horrible things, and I never bought any of Kanye's music anyway. I'm not a fan. But I'm a fan of Will Smith. I've listened, I love his music. I watched The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I watched Independence Day. I love Bad Boys. And I'm still going to watch his movies, even though I don't like what he did to Chris Rock. I think he was a jerk for doing what he did to Chris Rock. Especially over some little joke that was basically harmless. But it's my choice if I still want to watch a Will Smith movie. Do I think he should have been banned from the Oscars for, 10 years? Not 10 years. That's a little extreme if you ask me, but still, a little bit of punishment, it was necessary for acting the way he did. I think 10 years is a little much, but still. But like I said, it's my choice if I still want to watch his movies. I'm still going to watch Chris Rock's movies too. I'm a Chris Rock fan as well. So it's my choice what I watch. As far as Kanye goes, I never bought his music. I never supported him. I don't care. But when somebody in the public eye comes out and says what he said and is obviously having some sort of mental breakdown, like having a mental breakdown fully in the view of the public, one, he needs help. Something's wrong and he needs help. He needs medication. But again, if I did support Kanye and he came out and he said stuff like this, I personally would no longer support him. I would no longer buy his products. That would be my choice to do that, not group think. Like, I chose not to support him anymore. I choose to still support Will Smith in his future endeavors if I like them. I'm not going to go just watch a Will Smith movie just because it's a Will Smith movie. If it looks good, I'm going to watch it. But if somebody like say Kanye West comes out and says pro stuff about the the World War II bad guys, then I'm no longer going to support him because I don't, that's not something that I want to be behind. If Will Smith came out and started saying pro stuff about that, I would, not support him as well just because personal reasons. And like they are my own personal reasons. And if somebody wants to still support Kanye despite what he said, that's their choice. As horrible as it may be, it's their choice. And honestly, I may not agree with their choice, but it's their choice. Your individual choice should not be influenced by groupthink, by a crowd of people saying you have to agree with us. That should not be. Especially not a celebrity coming out and saying. Celebrities, they're going to go along with whatever everybody else wants just because they don't want to get canceled. If a group of people, like a fairly large group of people, are saying you have to agree with us, then they're going to agree with them just so they can keep working. And that's the way Hollywood is. They will agree with whatever the trending topic is just so they can keep working. If somebody comes out and speaks against the group, they take the risk of losing future jobs, future work. And that's just the way it is in Hollywood. Hollywood's running the show right now. And if you disagree with what they think, then they'll kick you to the curb quicker than you can blink. And that's just the way it is there. If you come out with your own thoughts, the way you think, and you disagree with the crowd, then you're done. And that's the way Hollywood is. It shouldn't be, but it is. They're basically taking away anybody's right to choose for themselves what they support. And I personally don't agree with it. I think an individual should be able to make their own individual decisions. But, tell me what you think. Do you think a person should be able to choose for themselves who they support, who they don't support? Please tell me in the comments down below, and I would very much appreciate that if you did. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. I thank you very much for tuning in today. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one.